Hello, welcome to my channel. You too can be great. This is the Marital Medicine LA Season 2 Episode 1 premiere review. So we have the characters of this season. Y'all remember the last Marital Medicine, the regular original one? We got Mariah, we got Toya, we got Dr. Jackie, we got Quad, we got Heavenly, we had Lisa Nicole come at some point, we have Contessa, we have what's her name? I keep forgetting her name from last season that had the egg issue and having the baby issue. I forgot her name right now, but she was also there. We had a few characters that have gone in through the show, Simone and stuff like that. So, but this particular season has doctors from LA and doctors' wives from LA. We have Jasmine, who's a doctor's wife, Shanique, who's a doctor's wife, Dr. Imani, who's a psychiatrist. We have Dr. Britton, who's an anesthesiologist. We have a couple OBGYNs, and those are the people that are going to be involved in this particular season. And I'm going to tell you all about it because it looks like it's going to be juicy. So the first episode, we got Jasmine, Shanique, they're doctor's wives, and they're also besties, okay? And they so much share their own green screen. That's how deep it is. And they show up to Jasmine's 4-level rental property because she has her own concierge business. Now that she's a doctor's wife, she doesn't want to be known just as a doctor's wife like Toya, like we know of. She's actually venturing out, having her own business and trying to make her own. So she'll end up like, what's her name? That the white American girl that they had in the last episode, I forgot her name, where her husband was a doctor and she was supposed to be a lawyer, but she quit her job to be at home with her husband, and he's a plastic surgeon or something like that, Jill. And we found out later that her man, right after the season ended, divorced her, or found out that she might be cheating on her. He thought she might be cheating on him, and they got 2 kids. He took the kids to call the money, left her with nothing, and Toya was sitting up talking about, I wish nothing happened, that type of stuff don't happen to people. But Jill didn't have her own, and she wasn't really protected in that, in that relationship. So Jasmine's got, building her own business, getting herself together. I was kind of low-key bored of both of them. But then we got Dr. Britton, who I think is going to be the spicy one in this entire season. And her husband, Mac, they're in the car discussing their marriage. Now, last season, it looks like Mac was in Orlando and Dr. Britton came to LA. And they had a whole issue why Mac was in Orlando and she's in LA. He was like, you need to either move back home or we're done because we need to have a marriage where we live in the same state, in the same house, otherwise this ain't going to work. And I agree. And Britton had announced that she was moving back to Orlando at the end of the season. Turns out they all moved back, moved to LA, and Mac is basically complaining about everything he can because he doesn't want to leave his 7,000 square foot house in Orlando to come to this small, tiny 2,200 and whatever square feet house property in LA. It's just so small. You would think it was a 1-bedroom apartment for real. Then, to add insult to injury, it seems like Dr. Britton has been sleeping with the kids and Mac's been on his own. Usually when that happens is a sign letting the woman is telling the man there's something that you're doing that's bugging the hell out of me, so I'm not even going to share a bed with you. I'm going to sleep with the kids so you know that I don't even want to sleep with you. And so we're going to figure out what's going on in their marriage as the season goes on. But right now he's sleeping on his own, being, comforted and, cuddling with his right hand. Then we got Dr. Imani and her kid, Idris, I think that's his name. She's a psychiatrist, not a therapist, because psychiatrists can prescribe drugs. Therapists apparently cannot. And her husband, Phil, of 11 years, who used to be in a music industry, is now trying to find himself all the way in Oklahoma. Why he can't find himself in LA? But he's in Oklahoma trying to start a business, and he looks like he's been there for 3 months, and apparently they miss each other a lot. I'm a little confused by that dynamic. I don't know why a man would have to go somewhere for 3 months to build his life unless he's in the military. I would think that because I don't know, maybe it's just me. If my husband tells me I'm going to go to some state for 3, 4, 5 months to build our business, no, are you taking me with you? I will ride in the luggage. I'm going with you. You're not leaving me here for 3 freaking months. What the hell am I going to do? This marriage is supposed to be me and you to the day we die until you're in the ground. You're not going to leave me for months at a time. No. And even if it's just a week, I'm going to. We're going on vacation together. We're going to do this business together. Or you're going to stay here in LA till we're done filming. Then I'm going to go with you. That's how it's going to work. Then we got Toya, Heavenly, Quad, and Contessa from the original Marital Medicine coming over to LA to support these women to help them get the drama kicking off. And if Heavenly's there, it's going to be a mess. Because we got Britton and Contessa who are besties, and Contessa has a long history with Britton. Their husbands even know each other. Contessa also invited Toya on the trip, and if y'all watched last season with Contessa and Toya, they were not on best terms. They were having a lot of fights. So for Contessa to invite Toya to this trip, it was a big deal, and Toya was very happy because she feels like like we're moving forward towards, you know, on a good note, because they were friends when they first started. Then Britton calls and asks them to come over to her house on Saturday because they're having a party. And they all agree to come, but they're gonna have it. They're gonna have it later on in the episode. For now, they go over to Jasmine's rental villa, and Toya decides to look around. There's a pool outside heated. The house is gorgeous. I feel like Jasmine's gonna make a whole lot of money being in this industry of rental properties in freaking LA. LA is expensive. You can get a property in LA or in Manhattan, you're straight. And she has property there, and they're gonna sit there and they're gonna build on this. There's a wine bar. Toya found it. Heavenly says that, throwing shade already in her little confessional, saying that she thought Jasmine was plastic and beautiful, too plastic and beautiful to be smart. She judged that girl right off her look, because Jasmine has a beautiful body and she has a beautiful face, but she thought because she's pretty, she has to be dumb. I'm confused. Just because you're attractive doesn't make you stupid. But she also says that Jasmine is the LA version of Toya, and that Jasmine is the person that Toya would like to be. I don't like how Heavenly looks down on Toya because Toya's a stay-at-home mom. I don't feel like you being a stay-at-home mom is less than, because I know some women who, I met somebody who had 12 kids and the mom homeschooled all 12 kids. She was a stay-at-home mom. You want to downplay her and act like she's not worth anything? Girl, bye. I'm going to try to see you homeschool 12 kids and stay at home 24/7 dealing with that lot of ass kids and their little stages of growth, and tell me that ain't a job that you need to be paid for. Girl, bye. But she looks down on Toya. She's always looked down on Toya because she feels like Toya is not really an entrepreneur like herself, as she puts herself on a high pedestal. Then they all sit down to eat and chill. Heavenly suggested they have a cocktail party and invite Dr. Imani at Venice Beach, because knowing that Dr. Imani and Jasmine had an issue. If y'all watched last season, Dr. Imani went to Jasmine's house and made an allegation on national television saying that their house is like a drug dealer's house. Now, you don't say shit like that on TV. You don't even say that at all, because now when you Google her name, what the first thing that pops up is, you know, drug dealer's house. And that's a bad rep, because whatever you put on the internet doesn't go away. And Imani kind of downplays it. I also find out that Imani and Heavenly get along really well because they have diarrhea of the mouth. Both of them act almost similar in a way. I like Dr. Imani better, but Heavenly and her have some similar personality traits. Then Dr. Heavenly and Imani are going hiking while the rest of the ladies are scootering on Venice Beach. And Quad says, while they're all scootering and hanging out, Quad and is talking about Jasmine while they're eating, taking a break, saying that Jasmine has a bomb body, but it's because she doesn't eat salt. And Quad says, I'm a black woman. If I want to eat salt, I want to eat salt. I can't eat nothing that don't have salt. But she also says that she's older than Jasmine, and she's older than Shanique, and she has a better body. I don't know, this little subliminal shades that they keep throwing. I don't know. I can't tell if Quad is jealous of Jasmine and Shanique, or if Heavenly's jealous of Jasmine. I can't tell, because all these little shots they're taking is either the body is an issue, or the money is an issue, or the wealth is an issue. There's always something that you're looking at the other person and comparing your circumstances with. Do you feel insecure? That's how I look at it. Then we got Heavenly telling Imani that Jasmine doesn't really like her because of the drug dealing comment that she made last season, and the internet will let it down. And Imani says, I can be in the same room with her, and you know, we just want to hang out. I can just mind my own business. And Heavenly's looking at her like, okay, well, damn, because she said that she just don't want to have to put her hands on somebody. I'm thinking, you are a psychiatrist. You want to put your hands on somebody and ruin your whole career? Because I'll be the one to sue your ass and fuck up your career if you put your hands on me. Then we got Jasmine planning this together in style type meeting with them. She's got them doing their makeup. She's got a bartender. She got a chef. She wants to make this entire gathering the best, because she knows if Heavenly leaves that party and goes to rubs her mouth, she better make sure that whatever comes out of Heavenly's mouth is a good thing for her business, because Heavenly talks too damn much. So it's beautiful too. Heavenly decides to show up, get out of the room. Contest is there. And there's this new doctor that shows up, Dr. Kendra. She's a black woman. She just has a baby. She has a crop top on, and she don't care that her stomach is still showing from her having a baby. She's put it all out there. She says, I'm fine. I'm a mother. I just had a baby 3 months ago, and y'all gonna see all this belly that I have, and it is beautiful, and you're gonna have to like it. And the first thing Heavenly talks about is her body. And I'm thinking, Heavenly, your ass ain't skinny. You're not a size 2. And prior to a few years back, maybe some surgery that she didn't have, you were also a big woman. Who are you to talk about somebody and their figure? What's wrong with you? But Heavenly points that out and mentions that her stomach is out. While all these girls have their stomach out, including her, she had her stomach out even though she's a little bit on the bigger side. And then she lets them know, I just had a baby. Heavenly says, how long ago? To see how long her stomach has been that big. She goes, 3 months ago. And if she has it 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago, she want to show her stomach. Let her show her damn stomach. Mind your business. Then another doctor, Dr. Courtney, I think that's how they say her name, says that she's also an OBGYN. And she says that after Kendra announces that she has been married, because they show her baby's half Asian, half black. And she lets us know that she's been married to a Chinese man. Got a little jungle fever going on. Then when Dr. Courtney says that she's also an OBGYN, but her job is that she makes vaginas pretty, Heavenly goes, why don't you make the penis pretty? Because them things are ugly. I'm thinking, Heavenly, you put Daddy on blast right now. Because if Daddy's penis is hideous, then he's the only penis that needs to be fixed. Because I've seen my man's. And it's so beautiful. It's like perfectly designed for me. It's just gorgeous. Hold on, I'm besides myself. Anyway, as they're talking about penises, Toya says that there are people out there who make penises bigger, not prettier. And freaking Heavenly turns to Kendra talking about, well, maybe your husband, she said something like your husband may be considering that or something because he's Chinese. That is one of the most ignorant shit I've ever heard. But didn't you see Insecure 2 episodes ago? That Asian dude was out there getting it on Molly. He was tearing it up with that smack he gave her booty real loud. He was tearing that ass up. Basically, Heavenly was insinuating the whole myth that we're all told that black people have big penises and other Asian people have the smallest penises in the world. That's the myth. Okay, and Heavenly decided to say some ignorant shit like that, saying that because she's with a Chinese man, his penis needs enlargement, and she says it in a huge crowd in front of people that makes Kendra want to slap the shit out of her. And I did not blame Kendra for it, because if I was Kendra, I would slap the hell out of her too. Who the fuck are you to tell me anything about my man's penis? Worry about your own daddies, okay? Then Kendra goes off on her. Kendra gets up and leave, and Heavenly does what she always does. Huh? What did I say? I didn't say nothing. Girl, you did. Yes, you did. And of course, Quad comes walking in, and Quad finds out what Heavenly says. And Quad says exactly what I just did. Heavenly likes to say some stuff and then hide her hands and act like she wasn't talking shit. In the background, you got Dr. Britton trying to calm Kendra down, talking about, I'm Team Kendra all down, ride or die. If you want to beat Heavenly's ass, I'm right, which I'll beat her ass too. And I was like, Dr. Britton is going to be my favorite character in this season. So far, she's been getting me on her side, and I love her. I also like Contessa too, so I mean, hell, they work together. Then, of course, they come in, and Heavenly decides to give Dr. Kendra a fake apology. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like that. You know, I was just saying, because I wanted you to educate me. I was asking you. You don't ask me about my husband's penis, bitch. Worry about your own, period. Heavenly is the Tiffany Pollard of Marital Medicine. Tiffany Pollard, a.k.a. New York from Flavor Flav, that just says whatever the hell she thinks and don't give a damn. Heavenly is the same, but for Marital Medicine. That's who she is. And they brought her on this season so she can act just like herself, a damn fool. Then Quad comes into the group. And after the fake apology she gives, Quad decides to get up and do a speech. I said, Quad, this ain't your house, girl. Sit down. This is not your house. Why are you giving a speech? And Dr. Britton says what I'm thinking. Quad likes to hear herself talk, because whenever she gives her speeches, it's so dramatized. When she did that speech when they were in a dinner having some kind of like French invention that Dr. Jackie was throwing, she was like, I'm sitting here in front of you guys, naked and bare. The way she was is so dramatized. She's sitting up here, she's giving a speech, and she decides to be messy too because she won her check. And she decides to bring up the fact that while she's talking, Dr. Britt interrupts her because Dr. Britt don't want to hear Quad talk. And Quad decides to say, Dr. Britt, you know better. You were educated better. Basically called her out and put her in a child's place, talking to her like she's a child. Then she continues to give a speech. And then she brings up Imani and Jasmine's situation being messy in her speech. Why does this concern you? She's like, well, Imani, thank you for coming. I know you and Jasmine had a problem, but I want you to know that I want to thank you for being the bigger person and showing up. And Imani's looking at her like, why'd you bring this up? And Quad is like, don't look around, dear. I'm talking about you. You know who I'm talking about. It's you. Don't look around. I'm like, Quad, Imani will beat your ass, number one. Number two, Dr. Britton ain't no bitch. She'll get up here and she'll beat your ass too. Why are you picking at these ladies like you are their mothers? Why are you talking to these women who are well-educated, wealthy in their own right, have their own going on? You don't speak to them like that. And she didn't stop there. After the speech, While she's doing the speech, Jasmine says, let's just drop this and let me and Imani talk separately. And while they're talking separately, Quad is sitting on this little handle on the chair, and she's interjecting in everything that they're saying. But she said that this, and this. So Dr. Brent gets pissed off at her and says, hey, yo, like, you don't know anything about this type. Basically, back up. Quad decides to go ahead and check Dr. Brent and said, y'all having a side conversation. This ain't about you, girl. Stay out of it. But Quad, this ain't about you either. This has nothing to do with you. Imani and Jasmine's beef has absolutely nothing to do with you. You're just inserting yourself, trying to make yourself relevant in the episode because you don't have a storyline. You're going to pick them as your storyline. So she already picked the fight with Jasmine. She already inserted herself, picked the fight with Dr. Britton, inserted herself. And of course, Jasmine says, what I'm thinking, why is Quad, in this situation? Then Dr. Britton her starts arguing. Imani lets us all know that she's over it. Jasmine, in a roundabout way, decides to insult Imani because Imani's friend Liv tells everybody, didn't Imani already apologize? And Jazz says, yes, she gave a pathetic, piss poor ass apology, but it's neither here nor there. We're just gonna ignore it. That was an underhanded dig, and she got Imani for that. Imani says, I'm over it. Liv is like, well, why the hell are we talking? Leah's like, why the hell are we talking about this? And Quad is trying to explain in detail what happened last year because she wants to kind of egg it on. You got Heavenly in the corner acting a damn fool. It was just a mess. All I know is this season, Heavenly's gonna cause more trouble. Imani's going to have to answer some questions because she didn't let people know that her husband has been away from her for 3 months and people think they're separated. Shanique is going to make everybody else the storyline. Dr. Britton is ready to take everybody down. She's the contestant of the show. She'll fight everybody and then some with her muscles that she got going on. Plus, she's going to let us know what's going on in her marriage and why this man is not sleeping in the same room as her. Heavenly is going to miss Daddy so much she's going to take her ass back and act the fool there. Quad is there to stir up the pot as well, but insert herself other people's drama. I don't know what Toya's doing. I think she's just there for decoration. I don't see what Toya's purpose is. Toya and her ass, fat as hell and big as it is. Eugene loving all that booty. I don't know what Toya's purpose is on that show. I don't know yet, but maybe we'll see what's going on. I'm so happy that Dr. Jackie's not on the season because I don't want Dr. Jackie to do all that messy little underhanded thing that she did last season. I was very disappointed in her behavior, and I just don't want her to be in this type of dynamic and do something else I'm not going to like. I'm still trying to, get myself accustomed to her. Mariah would have been a great addition to this because her character is spicy as hell, and she would have made some extra drama with Heavenly being on here. She would have told all them ladies to just go ahead and look at Heavenly as the enemy. That's what I know she would have done. But this season, I'm going to keep reviewing it. If it gets good, I'm going to keep reviewing it. If it starts souring, I'm going to stop reviewing it and I'm going to waste my time. Y'all let me know what you think about this episode and the review. Let me know what y'all think. Like, subscribe, notification bell. You guys have a good evening.